eyeliner stains, mascara smears, that's crying in the shower, drowning his tears, broken heart, a shattered soul. He's all alone, feeling so cold. Mississippi failures blasting his brain, echoing his pain, driving him insane. Waterfalls down his face, it trips as he crumbles, broken into shapes. Wet clothes soaked, his haunted face, that's crying in the shower, playing the blanket. Tattoos hide the scars upon his skin, but the hurt inside still burns within. That Kohrs is there. That Kohrs is crying in the shower, crying in the shower. That Kohrs is crying in the shower, crying in the shower, crying in the shower.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. I can't even deny it. Yes, I was crying in the shower. But sometimes that's just how you let the sad out, you know? It is what it is. But folks, I hope you are having a phenomenal Monday morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time it is for you. I hope you're having a good one. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you got to spend at least 50% of it at your local Texas Roadhouse, because that's personally how I enjoy my own weekends. I don't know where you live in the world. That's a lie. I actually feverishly track where all of you live, and I need to stay up to date on all the drama within your individual lives. So I'm just saying that for like legal purposes, but I know exactly where all of you live, and it's because of that I know many of you in here today got to experience better than normal weather over the weekend. So I hope you got outside, were able to touch a couple blades of grass, enjoy some vitamin D rays from that giant fireball in the sky, and I hope you're ready for a fun-filled week. Folks, we have a lot going down. Last week, we saw a recovery. 2 weeks ago, vomit, puke, bad. Recovery last week. And if this morning's market movement is any indication of what's going on, we might have another green week. Now, obviously, there's a lot to be said between now and the conclusion of the world's biggest casino session on Friday. A lot going down this week. Namely, we have an FOMC week. So Wednesday. So technically the FOMC meeting starts tomorrow, Tuesday. These are 2-day meetings, but that doesn't really matter to us. It concludes on Wednesday. We get the results at 2 p.m. Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, will then be speaking at 2:30. So that's probably one of the major macroeconomic events of the week. But in terms of individual companies, we're still in the middle of earnings season. We're in the heat of earnings season. Last week, we had some big tech plays, some just important plays in the world of retail, and that will be continuing this week. So obviously, what I'm going to do today to kind of get everyone prepped up for the week ahead is go over all the major macroeconomic events. I'm going to call out all the earnings that I think you're going to care about. We're going to do a little bit of chart review, because right now, even though it's not earnings, even though it's not major macroeconomic events, we do have some stocks on the move, such as Tesla, which is up in excess of 10% already this morning. We're going to talk a little bit about crypto, what's been getting hit a bit lately, and I want to share my thoughts on that. Obviously, we're going to talk about the newsletter. We're going to kind of talk about how Piper did last week. We do have some, I guess, geopolitical updates as well. Obviously, unrest is still going up and up and up in Israel, Palestine, obviously Ukraine as well. Also, whatever in the world's happening on the campuses here in the U.S., specifically NYU and Columbia. We have some other stuff going on between Trump and Biden of just apparently they've now agreed to debate, and then Trump's in week 2 or 3 of his trial. I think this is week 2 getting underway right now, the official trial. We have the correspondence dinner, which actually Colin Jost, who's on SNL, I thought he actually had some pretty funny jokes. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We just have a lot to get into. So like I said, I hope you had a phenomenal weekend, and I hope you were prepared for an even better week in the world's largest casino. Folks, I do appreciate you taking the time out of your life to join me on this Monday morning. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And with that being said, let's get this show rocking. So right now, the SPY and the Qs are up. The SPY is up about 0.3%. The Qs are up about 0.5%. The real darling of the morning is TSLA, the stock that a mere couple days ago, everyone said, uh-oh, it's getting destroyed. Well, it closed at 168 last week. It's currently trading above 190. It is rippity, skippity, doodah to the upside. Big movement, so obviously I'll be going over that. Now, once again, this is the bane of my existence. I always just have too many tabs open. I'm just a big tab guy. Tab. Tabs. Amazon says more packages are arriving in a day or less than after hefty investment in speedy fulfillment. That's pretty sick. Anyway, stock futures climb following S&P 500's best week since November. So to kind of zoom out, we've been ripping. And then 2 weeks ago, it was really bad. The week before that, kind of sketchy. We started to recover a little bit last week. And you can see even from the EMA line right now, this is kind of pivotal. We died, then we bounced back. Are we going to keep going up? Was this just a little bit of a fake out breakdown, a little bit of a liquidity grab? Or are we this is a reasonable retest and we get smacked? Time will tell. If I had the crystal ball that let me know exactly what was going to happen next, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be on a beach somewhere. So you have to take it in stride of, okay, what's your risk? What's your reward? Are we legitimately breaking out? Are we breaking down? Are you being biased? Are you being unbiased? There's always a whole host of questions to ask. But right now in pre-market, to kick the week off, to basically conclude April and get rocking with May, things are feeling pretty good. Now, before we talk about the market, as I alluded to, let's get done with the bigger stuff. And obviously right now we're in an election year, so we are going to have the incumbent Biden versus Trump. And with that being said, the White House Correspondents' Dinner was a couple days ago, and I actually thought some of the jokes were pretty funny. So Colin Jost, I guess depending on the side of the aisle you're on, you might like his jokes, you might not like his jokes. I thought his jokes were funny. Obviously at the end, he clearly was a little bit more supportive of Biden, but if you like Biden or not, if you like Trump or not, I think you could still be mature enough to admit that some of these jokes were pretty freaking funny. So here's just a clip of one.
Like many of you here tonight, I pretend to do news on TV.
That was a good one.
My weekend update co-anchor, Michael Che, was going to join me here tonight, but in solidarity with President Biden, I decided to lose all my black support.
He went on about how recently he was at the White House and he left his booger sugar there, and then he was talking about how Biden must have had it because his next speech was pretty good and blah, blah, blah. I thought it was funny. So I don't know. I think in terms of SNL, Colin Jost is one of the actual funniest ones on the show right now. I enjoyed it, so take it with a grain of salt. I hope you enjoyed it too. And if you didn't, maybe you're just taking life a little bit too seriously. That's always something to consider. Now, actually, on a bit more of a serious thing, we are continuing with the trial. Right now, Trump has 4 major legal things currently in his life. The one that is getting right now, media and airtime, is arguably the least important one. It's about the payments related to Stormy Daniels and the hush money payments and where did the money come from, this, that, the other thing. So that's the one going on right now. Still important, but relative to the other 3, arguably the least important one. But what's interesting is obviously in the morning and the afternoon, we get these clips of Trump and his commentary on it. Basically, he's been saying the crooked judge, it's cold in there, this, that, the other thing. Well, recently, it's getting a little bit more into the world of, are we actually going to get a debate? Which is interesting because generally we always assume that the incumbent and the new person will be debating multiple times. But with this one, there was just some commentary that, they might not be debating at all. So Trump kind of threw down the gauntlet, and I just want you guys to listen to this. This concluded last week.
So thank you very much. This is 8 days that we've all been sitting in this courthouse. This is all a Biden indictment. It's in order to try and win an election, political opponent, and nothing like this has ever happened. 8 days. As you know, the economy's falling apart now. Now you're seeing it, very little growth. It's going to get worse. Oil prices are going up. You have the college campuses all over closed down. Our country's going to hell. And we sit here day after day after day, which is their plan. Because they think they might be able to eke out an election, but I doubt it, because the poll numbers are very good for us. I just want to say that I've invited Biden to debate. He can do it anytime he wants, including tonight. I'm ready. Here we are. I invited him to the courthouse that he has us tied up in with his administration. This is all being done through Washington. It's all a well-coordinated attack on a political opponent. But I'm here. I'm ready, willing, and able. And if he wants, I'll do it on Monday night, Tuesday night, or Wednesday night. We'll be in Michigan, a state that he's destroyed because of the auto industry. We're not going to have any jobs left in Michigan. No auto jobs left in Michigan. They're all going over to China and other places with this ridiculous EV mandate, electric vehicle mandate. But we're willing to do it Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, or Friday night on national television. We're ready. Just tell me where. We'll do it in the White House. That would be very comfortable, actually. But you tell me where. But we're ready. He's obviously not showing up now.
You get the gist of it. Using his court time, and he knows he's being filmed, to kind of throw down the gauntlet and say, hey, I'm willing to debate whenever, however you want it. And a little bit after that, which I think came as a surprise to quite a few people, so Biden really hasn't been doing any interviews, but he ended up going on Howard Stern's show. And I want to talk a little bit about Howard Stern because I feel like I am the age that kind of just missed like the big Howard Stern show. To my understanding, like I said, I really didn't consume it myself simply because of my age. I guess maybe some of the people who were fans of Howard Stern or kind of saw it play out throughout history, he was the guy that kind of started this, like the fact that you could have a longer form talk show. And I guess obviously he was very pivotal within the space, a true pioneer. Obviously, now you don't hear much of him because of the Sirius deal, and more he just took the money and he's good to go. Obviously, he has quite a bit less influence, to my understanding, than he used to like a decade or two ago. Like I said, he's the trailblazer. Now, I think a lot of people's opinion of him have changed because back in the day, I think he did what was truly like edgy. In nowadays definition, it feels like a lot of things he did that made him big, he would instantly get canceled. That's kind of my synopsis of the whole situation. Is he did a lot of crazy things that got so many people to tune in and listen and really enjoy it. And now, like, it seems like every other thing he did, he would have actually been truly canceled. And he himself seems to kind of be playing this game of, even though he got elevated to a crazy, crazy high level, he's more of the guy that he's not pushing the ladder down. He's actually bringing it up behind him. So not many people, like, he's more than happy to try to cancel other people for things he literally did, which I think is a little bit suspect. But with that being said, I guess I have divided thoughts because I respect him so much for the trailblazer that he had, because like in part of what I do now, I believe, is because of he even setting up as like, this is an industry. But then some of his recent stuff is just like, well, you're kind of, like I said, pulling the ladder behind you. Regardless, very popular, huge supporter of Biden, and Biden came on his show, and it was a longer form interview, and yes, Biden did keep it together, but a little bit of a response was he was saying that this is Biden's official response. They're like, yeah, he's willing to debate.
I don't know if you're going to debate your opponent.
I am somewhere. I don't know when. Yeah. I'm happy to debate him.
I don't know if you're going to.
Happy to debate him. So it seems like Trump's interested in it and Biden's interested in it. So it sounds like it's going to happen. We don't have an official date or anything like that, but I do think it's an important update because going into like 2 weeks ago, there was a big question of, are they going to have a debate whatsoever? So just wanted to throw that on your radar, and also wanted to play this. Like I said, I'm not really positive or negative on Howard Stern. I just haven't consumed his content, and I think it's exclusively because he's stuck on Sirius, and I just never really listened to Sirius. But it seems like some people are having some mixed feelings about Howard Stern, who I guess his persona was never really one to like fawn over his guests. Like I said, I'm just trying to read and put together these comments because this is not my own opinion. But I guess a lot of people liked him as an interviewer. He was down to earth. He asked good questions. And I believe the fans who liked that type of interview were a little bit confused. I guess this is just not his normal MO. And please, if you are a big Howard Stern fan, like, please correct me. There's a chance I'm getting this wrong. But they found that this part of the clip to be a little bit confusing.
You know, the reason I'm so excited to talk to you was because I wanted to understand the tragedy in your life and how you dealt with it, And you're the kind of leader I love because we're lucky to have you in the Oval Office and serving as the father of the country. Because if you're a good father to your family, which you are, I know you'd be a good father to the country. And I want to thank you for providing a calming influence, an organized administration post-COVID, getting that vaccine out. I remember what the world was like at that point, getting NATO, getting us to feel comfortable, standing up to Putin, the incredible large growth in the jobs, unemployment rate down. I'll give you your greatest hits. The lowest uninsured rate in history. 4 out of 5 Americans are covered for less than $10 a month. Knocking off a few ISIS leaders, cutting the emissions in half. I mean, you've always been an environmentalist. You know, the reason I'm so excited.
So, little strange, like he's just, I don't know, like really into Biden, I suppose. And when I saw people clipping this, I'm like, okay, like maybe he just likes him. Like, is it really that big of a deal? And then I started to go into the deep, like, rabbit hole of how Howard Stern became Howard Stern. And people started to point out, he's like, this is a guy who's now fawning over just like the generic achievements of a president. And then rewind 2 decades, he had no issue saying the N-word. He had no issue doing blackface. He had no issue. I guess at one point he threw baloney on like a hooker's butt. Like that was part of the show. So it seems like there's quite the transition. And obviously, people are allowed to grow up. You're allowed to mature. You're allowed to pivot. I have no issue with that. But it does seem as if quite a bit of his initial audience, of how he got that audience, of kind of like just the shock factor type of craziness, I could understand how that audience is a little like, wow, this is quite the change of pace of what we like first signed up for. So thought it was interesting, but yes, Biden is doing interviews now. And yes, it does sound like we are going to get that debate. And yes, Trump is still in the middle of one of his various legal battles. Trump trial's second week concludes with testimony from former secretary and banker. Trump is charged with 34 counts of falsifying business records as part of his scheme to cover up reimbursement payment to his lawyer and personal fixer to buy the silence of Stormy Daniels. So that's the one we're currently hearing a lot about, but also once in a while there's some news about the Supreme Court and their opinion on January 6th and that type of thing. Trump VP contender Christie stands by killing her dog Cricket amid bipartisan ridicule. So this is an insane story, which seemingly came out of nowhere, but this Christie lady, I guess, wrote a book, and in the book, kind of like a memoir type of a thing, she was discussing just some of the things that happened in her life, and she was talking about like how she was relatively young. She murdered her dog, and she's not even backtracking and saying, nah, you guys are like misunderstanding. She's like, no, I did. And like, what? I can't believe this is the world we live in. Like, I don't know how much more evidence I have to present to all of you folks listening that we are so obviously in like the most obscure rendition of a simulation. It is ridiculous. Republican Governor Christie of South Dakota doubled down in a social media post on a controversial anecdote about killing her puppy. Her puppy. She attempted to spin the anecdote into a case of political deafness and willingness to take on tough challenges. She killed a puppy, dude. Like, what? What is happening in this world, man? So that's your no, this was not like, oh, she injected, like, I'm pretty sure she shot it. Like, this was not like, oh, we take it to a vet, it's sick, that type of thing. Like, this is a hard, like, this is such a hard question. Well, that's your political update. Crazy stuff going on, but we should, just because we have about 13 minutes left, let's get into the market. So for the week of ahead, in terms of major macroeconomic events today, nothing really on the schedule. The party does get going tomorrow, though. The FOMC meeting starts. We get the inflation report out of the Eurozone, and we get the consumer confidence report at 30 minutes into the trading day once again tomorrow. Wednesday is going to be a big day because we get the JOLTS job openings. We got a bunch of ISM stuff, and then we get the results of the FOMC meeting in the afternoon, and then obviously a speech from Jerome Powell. And then Friday of this week, we get the unemployment report. So a little bit quieter today, and then progressively throughout the week, things are just going to get a bit more intense on the macroeconomic side of things. Speaking of that, Japan financial authorities intervened in the Forex market. So while we were all sleeping, maybe some of Europe are trading it, crazy things happened in the world of Forex. Japanese yen strengthened sharply after hitting 160 against the dollar for the first time since 1990. So if you go JPY, USD, you're going to be able to see this. And you can see that it's been dying for quite a while, this pairing between the two, down and down and down. If I know we don't speak the most about Forex here, but it is kind of interesting, just obviously with the yen, a special place in the world of monetary policy and the carry trade, which is now effectively dead. But if you go into a smaller time frame, you can see exactly where they decided to intervene. Right around midnight o'clock, dead. They stabilized it, and then it started to rip. So just wanting to put that on your radar for any of the Forex traders in here. But I also want to talk about some individual companies. So this morning, SoFi, Domino's, Phillips. We are in the middle of earnings season. After the market closes today, we have Paramount. Tomorrow, PayPal, Eli Lilly, 3M, McDonald's, Coca-Cola. Also after the market closes tomorrow, Amazon, AMD, Starbucks. I'm sure a lot of you care about that. Wednesday, Pfizer, CVS, MasterCard, Qualcomm, Devon. Later in the week, Novo Nordisk, one of the biggest pharmaceutical players in the world. Peloton, Moderna, Apple, Coinbase, Block, DraftKings, Cloudflare. A lot going down. And then we even have Hershey reporting on Friday. So please remember, especially if you're playing any of these, you should be prepared for some crazy movement. So feel free to screenshot this. Feel free to check it out at eWhispers, but I also put it in the newsletter. But before we get to the newsletter, I want to talk about not necessarily an earnings play, but I want to talk about what is turning heads this morning, and that goes by the ticker TSLA. Tesla closing out the week last week at 168, currently trading at an impressive 190. It is currently up 13% in pre-market trading. Tesla jumps, obviously this was written a little bit ago, 8%. It's currently up 3% in pre-market trade after passing key hurdle to roll out full self-driving in China. That is a big W for Tesla supporters, Elon supporters, Tesla investors, Tesla bullish traders. Big news there. So right here, Elon Musk announces Tesla will invest $10 billion in AI this year to advance its autonomous driving technology. So the old twofer, not only did they pass this hurdle in China, but on top of it, this announcement that we're seeing more come to fruition that matches what Elon was saying in the last earnings call. We're not an automaker, we're an AI robot driving company. So it seems like what was stated in the earnings is very quickly coming to fruition, and that's why we're seeing the stock continue to pop. Musk leaves China with Tesla driving software hurdles cleared. So not only a big investment, but this is particularly what's getting the Tesla bull camp very excited this morning.
It's good to see electric vehicles making progress in China. All cars will be electric in the future.
Okay, Musk in China then. Let's bring in Bloomberg's Jill Desis in Hong Kong. Jill, Musk says it as a surprise, as we say. What is he trying to accomplish exactly?
Well, Tom, it seems like it's all about Tesla, this surprise trip. I actually found it particularly, catching us off guard just because what we had been preparing for just about a week ago was a visit by Elon Musk to India, where he was expected to meet potentially with Prime Minister Modi. That, of course, he had postponed, saying he actually had some very heavy Tesla obligations. Not sure how much that's related, but now here he is in Beijing. He actually met with Premier Li Qiang, who was working as the top Communist Party official in Shanghai when Elon Musk just a few years ago put together that deal for the Tesla Gigafactory. It's critical, most important global production plant. Now it seems like what Elon Musk is ultimately trying to accomplish here is making some headway on getting full self-driving, what Tesla calls full self-driving. It's sort of the semi-autonomous driving functionality within Tesla cars approved in China. That's obviously been a pretty weighty obstacle for Tesla to ultimately get over, just because there's a lot of technology concerns, but also national security concerns. But it certainly seems like that is what Elon Musk is in China, trying to clear that hurdle to getting this Tesla technology in cars there.
And Jill, as part of this trip, we hear that they're deepening their relationship, Tesla, with Baidu, which, of course, it has one of the leading autonomous driving platforms in China. How significant is that partnership to pushing through and pushing past some of these hurdles?
Yes, exactly, Tom. I mean, presuming that partnership goes forward, that seems like that is what would enable Tesla to ultimately accomplish its goals of getting this technology into vehicles in China. So the nature of this deal, obviously still, I think, kind of coming into focus, what exactly happens there. But yes, it does seem like what Tesla would ultimately be able to accomplish is partnering with Baidu to get some of this, sort of self-driving, autonomous technology into cars. Again, I must stress that when it comes to this Tesla technology, what exists already in the United States and elsewhere is something
China's
that needs to be
big
constantly
chunk of their
sort of
sales.
self-monitored, but ultimately it does kind of fulfill some of those semi-autonomous needs. So yes, it does seem like partnering with Baidu on some of this technology, this navigation structure, would ultimately get Tesla to clear a pretty significant hurdle toward entering the market with some of this technology that would enable it to provide technology that allows it to scale up an incremental amount of revenue as it's displayed in these cars.
All right, so that's the skinny right now. A lot of excitement. So Tesla, probably a worthwhile place on your watch list today. I have it in the top right. So we're going to be checking that out. But very quickly, just to kind of wrap this up, this is the newsletter. You could get it here. It's in the description of the video. My mods will drop it. But if you want to sign up for Locals, mattkohrs.locals.com, there is a membership and then a premium membership that's referred to as supporter. So a membership, 100% free. You don't have to sign up or pay for anything. You just sign up, just an email, you're good to go. If you want to be a premium supporter, a premium member, aka supporter, you could also do that for free if you apply the code GOONIE, GOONIE. That will get you in, and not only will you get the newsletter, which you get as a member anyway, but you're going to get Piper signals, my trades, you'll get access to the Discord, private lectures. We do a private lecture every single week. The one that we just did yesterday was more of advanced systematic trading on NinjaTrader with Apex and all that stuff. They're all they're all recorded, so if you miss it, you could watch it later. But a lot going on. But basically, if you want to be a part of the best trading community, check it out, and you could do so for free. mattkohrs.locals.com. Check out that link. It's in the description of the video. You can get in for free if you use the code GOONIE. Make sure you apply that as the promo code. That's how you get in for free. But just to break it down, here's the newsletter. It comes to your email inbox every single week. I break down the week, the major things I'm looking for in the upcoming week, all the macroeconomic events, all the earnings. I give you the screenshot from eWhispers, but then also what's going on. I kind of highlight the ones that I think you're going to care the most about. And arguably the most important is the seasonality. So for example, Monday, March 29th, that's today. Historically, the bulls have not done well on this day. Historically, the bulls have only won it a third of the time, clearly putting the edge in the favor of the bear camp. Right here, here's a look at the hypothetical equity curve that would be generated by buying at open, selling at close on this individual day over the past 25 years. You could see kind of flat, and then over the past, 15 years, slowly but surely going down. Now, is this a guarantee? No, not at all. The bulls do win a third of the time, but I'm just kind of letting you know about the headwind, tailwind, that type of an argument. And then also, this is how Piper did last week. Piper ended up hitting with 80% accuracy, 8 out of 10, 12 out of 14 particular units. Obviously, there's a bit of sizing to it. So Piper ended up missing on Thursday last week, but hit on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I am definitely going to be taking that. And then here was also the conclusion of it on Friday. So Piper, you could see here, April 26th at 10:05 in the morning, was bullish. Bullish 4 out of 5 confidence, a put credit spread on both the SPY and the Qs. That was the kind of the indication, if you will. For me, I ended up trading SPX. I just like European style contracts a bit better. I sold at 70 cents, bought it back at 15, which was a nice gain of 79%. And based on my sizing, that was $550. Once again, you can get access to not only these signals, but the Discord. You can get it for an entire month for 100% free if you use the code GOONIE. So make sure you follow that link to track it down. Now, before the market opens, I just want to remind everyone to get in the right mental headspace. And that's what this video is for. Time to ditch those friends.
If your friends start to tell you you gamble too much, your entire family resents you for losing all the money, remember, they just don't know how to say, keep going, you're almost there, never give up. If your friends...
Little bit of D-Gen motivation here at the morning, if you will. But let's get ready for speaking of D-Gen, the market open trade. Let's see what the wheel's going to do. Red is bearish, black is bullish. Let's see what the magic wheel of destiny is going to do for the trading competition out of the gate. Bullish. Looks like the wheel is taking a bullish position. And then that brings up Rumble. What is your vote? YouTube has already put theirs in, so the wheel is bullish. Where do you guys, if you are on Rumble, I need you to vote. I need you to vote. Vote, vote, vote. We are going with a trading competition right at market open. I'm letting you guys decide exactly what you want to see, exactly what you want to go down. What is the vote? Bullish, 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 bullish. Okay, so both YouTube and Rumble are in agreement today. Agreement has been met, and actually the wheel also agrees with you guys. So this will be firing off exactly at 9:30. If I didn't mess up the code, I was just doing so much coding this weekend. So I did apply it right. Chat is 182. 182. The wheel is 183. Okay, so the right accounts are selected. 182. 182. 182. Well, this doesn't seem right. 182. Okay. All right, I think we are ready to go. The market is going to be opening in about 45 seconds. Right now, the early indications are the bulls are in control. Now, remember, I'm saying that with a grain of salt because the market hasn't even opened yet. And we all know that times in the casino can get absolutely nuts. So here's the game plan. We're going to see how these market open trades end up actually going off. There we have about, dude, I wish we fired it a little bit earlier. We're getting that pop now. As you can see, I have a ton more strategies that should be firing. So I'm excited to see how that either does or doesn't play out. Completely new strategies. I was in no way happy with how my accounts did last week. So I just did a massive revamping. So I'm hoping that today is a nice green day. But on the
order target filled.
Already that fast. Whoa. Look at that. You guys, this was like the fourth or fifth day in a row that you guys made money, I think in 2 seconds. In about 2 seconds. So, I mean, it happened so fast I didn't even have time to say, dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is open. You guys, what a way to start off the week. What a way to start off the week. Congratulations right there. Bada bing, bada boom. 135 locked in on each account. So that's what, $270 in about a second. In about a second, I think is what it took. But fear not, we have about 18 other accounts to trade. So we're going to see how this really gets going today. Like I said, it should be a less aggressive than it normally has been, just because of like the new code updates and whatnot. So I'm excited for it. I'm very, very excited for it to see how this ends up going. What do we have here? What in the world do we have here? Okay. Patience. Let me zoom in. All right. Let me think about the next time that this should run. Okay, I think we have a bit of time for the market open. Speaking of the market open, the market opening bell today is brought to you by Public. Public. Check it out. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video, and they are the official partner of this part of the stream. It is by far my favorite place to trade options, and the reasoning for that is pretty simple. I know of no other place that pays you to trade options. You can earn up to 18 cents per contract traded. So 18 cents when you buy, 18 cents when you sell for every single contract. No commission fees, no per contract fees. By definition, and it's why exactly it's my favorite place to trade options, it's the most cost-effective way to trade it. So if you signed up before March 31st, you're already locked in at the 18 cents deal. If you miss that opportunity, it's all right because you can get there. If you use my link, you're actually going to end up starting, like the way they did it is kind of tranching it, where you can get up to 18 cents if you refer 3 friends. For me, you only have to refer 2. So you're going to start at 10 and then you'll go to 14 and then 18, obviously with those 2 referrals. Now, if you don't use my link, you're actually going to start at 6. So that's what I'm saying is like I'm saving you having to pester like 1 friend to sign up. But anyway, Public, favorite place to trade options. If you want to trade stock there, that's fine. They don't engage in payment for order flow. If they have the yield to high yield account, if you just want to park some money there and get the government yield of like 5.1 or whatever percentage it is right now, they probably have the best looking bond trading UI I've ever seen. Most places don't even allow you to trade bonds. So check it out. Free to download, free to sign up, no commission fees, no per contract fees. And if you use the link that's pinned to the top of chat, it's in the description of the video. you'll actually save yourself. Basically, you'll be a bit closer to getting the full rebate every single time you trade options. You'll start at 10 cents if you use mine, and then you refer one friend, you'll get up to 14. The next friend, you'll get up to 18. But if you signed up before March 31st, you're already locked in at the 18 without having to refer anyone. So like I said, shout out to Public being the sponsor of today's stream, bringing us the opening bell, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. With that being said, the market is pippity popping. Pippity popping. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Strong open. Strong open, brother. Strong open. What are we doing here? Did this not go the way I needed it to? I wanted a bit more of a... Okay, we're looking good. We're looking good. We're looking good. I just need... How much time do I need to pass? Oh, only a little bit. Only a little bit, and then I think the rest of the code should turn on. If you guys have been in the show for a bit, you obviously know that I'm trading 20 different PA accounts, technically 18 because you guys are trading 2 of them. But the other 20, I've kind of noticed a weird thing where I'm getting whipsawed right at market open. So what I did to my code was I added in a slight delay where some of it doesn't turn on until 9:35, some of it turns on at 9:40, some of it turns on at 9:45. So basically I'm in real time attempting to test some of this code with all of you and seeing how some delays work, because I noticed as much as the market open craziness a lot of the time benefits me, sometimes there's like those unfortunate bad beats and I just want to get out of those unfortunate bad beats. So what I'm really attempting to do is add in a little bit of a delay, and on some of these, not on all of them, the delay just turned off because we are 5 minutes into the day. So generally I don't allow the code to run until 9:30, but now, and this is what a lot of my research was over the weekend, was, okay, let's play with some of these strategies of what happens if you just turn it on later. Like you don't allow any trades. Instead, I was usually waiting for 9:30, but what if I wait till 9:35? What if I wait till 9:40? What if I wait till 10, 10:30? I mean, some of them I was even getting as extreme of waiting till the afternoon of like 1 p.m. or something like that. And I don't think I have any of those ones on right now, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm actually surprised it is past 9:35, and we do have quite a bit of bullish momentum. I'm a little bit, maybe not as bullish as I thought it was. I thought it would, I really thought it was going to take a long position as soon as 9:35 hit, but I guess not. I guess it was looking for something a little bit more than I was. All right, so Tesla, obviously I'll move that up. A lot of interest there. DJT's in the green today. Apple's in the green today. We might as well move Rumble up. All right, so I moved some of the green equities right up above my head. Tesla up the most. DJT up the second. DJT's trading at 42. 42.56, 57. Interesting. What are we doing right now? The market's nice open at first, but now it's at the point where it seemingly really just needs to make a decision. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green bars. Well, the Qs were a little bit more suspect. So let's see if it can just gather its, I don't know, footing on the day, stabilize itself. Let's see what the options market is doing right here. Hero down. So options popped right at morning open and then have been flat thus far. So pretty aggressive for the first 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, something like that. And then since then, a little bit of a drift to the downside, but nothing really too crazy.
Order submitted.
Oh, what are we doing? What happened? I don't know what account that is. 218. Is it this one? Are we two? Okay. It did go short here. Are we going to lock in some dinero? Lock it in?
Order target filled.
What? PA cancellation rejected by order. It rejected the cancellation? I'm a bit confused. All right, this doesn't seem right. What's happening here? Why are these trades still live?
Target filled.
All right, I don't know what's happening, and I'm trying to manage this in real time. It'd be nice if there's 217 and 218. I need it to pop because it had a nice winning trade, but then for some reason, I mean, you guys saw that error pop up. I don't know what I did in my code that messed it up so horribly. Maybe I should turn it off for right now. 217, 218. All right. I'm hoping for a little bit of a pop just so I could get out for break even on this like rogue trade that I have going on. But I think I'm more concerned by the fact that, hello?
Order filled.
All right, that's one of them I got out for break even. Where's the other one? 218. Come on, just pop back. What happened? Come on, pop back just so I can get out. And nope, maybe not going my way there. I'm going to literally have to review the stream to see what that... Uh-oh, now it's just going against me. How did it switch long? It was short. What in the world happened? What in tarnation happened? And now this one's causing me to hemorrhage money. But it worked on the other ones. Very strange. Something... So it had open orders?
Order submitted.
I don't even know what to...
Target filled.
I'm getting so destroyed on this rogue order that it shouldn't even be long right now. It shouldn't be anything. Other trades hit. I'm just trying to baby this. I guess I'm doing something stupid and I'm breaking all the rules and I'm just praying it comes back. A lot of other things just popped off though and they're working. So it was literally for just these single 2 accounts that this didn't work, but it worked on the other ones. Strange. And now I'm hemorrhaging. Come on. Come back. Give me the money somehow. Pop it back. Pop it back. Pop it back. What do I do? Maybe it's a sign? Maybe it's a sign that I should just hold it and it's going to be a great bullish day. And if I hold this one position, I'll make a lot of money. Is that a reasonable thought? Did your code buy more contracts than it sold? What would have I'm going to have to review the tape. I'm going to have to review the orders. I think it somehow fired a second. So it was short. So the way you get out of a short is a market long or like a limit long. And somehow it fired another market long. It seemed like it was a stop market, but the errors popped up and something with order and order cancellation. And I'm not having the best of vibe on this one, team, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, no, I mean, it went from a nice, it locked in right there. It locked in the trade. I don't know how it got another position. I'll have to review it all. I'm sure it's somewhere stupid. Whenever you have dude, now this is really just going down. Whenever you have issues like this, generally it's a pretty silly solution. Generally it was a slight oversight, which is frustrating because I did so much backtesting on this. I was using the playback tool over the weekend. Honestly, it might be a tough issue to track down because it did work as expected on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other ones. It worked as expected on 8 other accounts, so it actually might be a bit more difficult. Dude, I am getting destroyed. It just keeps going down. What's happening, man? What in tarnation is happening? I'm literally just praying at this point. If you guys want to know the methodology at which I'm trying to handle this, I'm praying that there's a bounce back just so I could get out without blowing out this PA account. What the fuck happened? Well, that's frustrating. That is beyond frustrating. Well, here's to hoping that there's a slight bounce back, at least for me to get out. Oh, so unfortunate. Prayer sim. Hey, it'll work. Ooh, and options are diving on me. We're making look at this. Dude, I'm so screwed. I'm so screwed. Oh, I'm laughing because it's painful. But yeah, both the SPY and the Qs hit their downside gap fill. The Qs hit it at 939 and the SPY hit it at 940. And I'm talking about the high value from Friday. Obviously, we opened above it on both the SPY and the Qs, leaving a literal gap in the charts. That's a very popular trade to take, the gap fill. So it took about 9 minutes today, 10 minutes today. Both, dude, I'm getting murked right now. What do I do? All right, do I want to, if I get out right now, it'll give me about $1,000 worth of drawdown, and I could try to manually trade my way out of this, or I could, even if there's a little bit of a pop, even if I could cut this loss in half. A lot of selling out of the gate. Lot of selling out of the gate. Are we just going to keep going? We're at the close value from on the Qs from Friday. We're maybe some right here in the bottom left of your screen. The Qs just quickly dove to not only get their downside gap fill, but to also hit the closing value from Friday. Just a quick vomit there. So maybe some support is going to be found. Options did pop, dove, but maybe showing a little bit of life right now. What are people doing? Some calls. Some people are starting to buy calls, but not the craziest amount. But let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. What in the world did I do with my code that caused that? What did I do? What did I freaking do? Well, now I'm nervous because the code is supposed to like keep running. There's many other things still trading this. I could go long right here, pray for a bounce, because if I go long another contract to go back to break even, I would only need it to go halfway. That's another option. Another option I do have at my disposal. Oh, but we are vomiting hard. I mean, look at this. The 5-minute was green, vomited below the cloud. The 10-minute was green, vomited below the cloud. The 30-minute was green, but when it vomited, it perfectly touched the 48 EMA. How are the Qs looking? Ooh, vomited even harder. 10-minute vomited even harder. And actually, the 30-minute is in danger of a potential breakdown right here. Vomited right below that 48 EMA, which the last time it did it was 9:30 last week on Friday. Collected itself and bounced out of there, but never officially had a close. And I think that's important. The bottom left of your screen, you'll see that we never had a closing half-hour bar below the 48 EMA. So I'm going to be watching that right here. What are we doing? Do we bounce? Are we bouncing out of this? Oh, danger, danger, danger. Danger, danger, danger. Bitcoin's looking heavy. Tesla is still holding its gains, up 11.8%. DJT, I'll put down here for a couple minutes. We'll see how this one's playing. Up 4.5%. Apple's up 3.7%. Apple's looking pretty good. How's Meta doing today? Meta is actually in the red. Coin's in the red. Nvidia's in the red. Amazon's the only other one really in the green. Texas Roadhouse is in the green. That might be a new all-time high on Texas Roadhouse. Let's see. TXRH. Texas Roadhouse tagging a new all-time high today at 159.40. We bouncing out of here, or is this going to be a little dead cat bounce? DJT is looking good. Tesla's holding its gains. I know probably some of you are curious about this. So I'll just show you the short interest numbers and the related metrics for DJT. Right here, shorts. The short interest on DJT as 10.75, data as previous close. So this was the close as of Friday, not real time. Short interest estimated to be 10.75. Cost to borrow sky high at 374. Utilization effectively maxed out at 99.9. It's still on the threshold list, which means there's a large amount of FTDs, And let's see what else we have going on. And we still do not have the update of the most recent FTD reading. The last one we have is from February 29th. So the fact that it's on the threshold list means there's a persistent, on a relative basis, high amount of fails to deliver on DJT. And if we look at some of the real-time interest or whatever, a slight return of shares today. This is crazy. The minimum cost to borrow in the first 18 minutes of the day, the minimum CTB, cost to borrow, to take shares out is 756%, the max being 936, and the most important is the average at 922. I don't know if I've seen numbers this high. The average value is almost over 1,000% cost to borrow. Now remember, these are annual rates. That's not what you pay per day. That's what you would pay if you held the position for an entire year. But that is crazy. 922%? That's insane. Let's see what Rumble's numbers are. Rum. Short interest, 16.7%. Utilization maxed out. Cost of borrow is actually still pretty. Even 39 is high. That is like abnormally high relative to the market. And then when you see like the DJT numbers at 900%, cost of borrow average today, 47. Wow. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Is the cost of borrow is the cost of borrow always a year, or are there other variable times? It's presented as an annual rate, but you only pay it for as long as you're taking the shares out on loan. But when you see the cost of borrow metric, the number, that's on an annual rate. Like that's what you would pay if you held it for an entire year. They never present cost to borrow in a smaller, like in a different time frame. You present it as if you held it for a year, but that doesn't mean you're locked into holding it for a year. Right now, calls started coming in at 9:44. 9:44 people started getting some calls. 9:44. Am I going to get saved? Come on, even if it popped back up to like 90, I could deal with that. So unfortunate. Now I'm just very, very curious what actually happened with the code. And why did it work on like 6 accounts and not 2 of them? It didn't work on this one either. Like we got the same message. I was able just to quickly get out at break even, but it worked on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It worked on 8, didn't work on 2, and I was able to save one of the 2 that it didn't work on. But golly. Or do I think we're just going to keep plummeting? What are your thoughts? Do we go down from here? Should I just close out the position? Is this my best opportunity to close out? What's the community say? Should I just dip on this? Dip or hold? Crabface says he's betting on a bear market today.
Order filled. All
right. Had to lock it in just in case it keeps diving. But I took the reverse bet now, and now I'm at the point where I'm just doing this manually. We're just letting it rip to see what happens here. I'm at the point where we're just letting it rip to see what happens. When in Rome. Dude, so unfortunate. I'm still, what time is it? How is this other stuff not fired yet? Piper, well, of course Piper hasn't fired because it's not past 10. But a little sketchy. Calls did come in, went flat. Puts have slowly but surely been building up. As the bottom 2 blue lines go down, that means people are buying puts. The lighter one, I guess whatever we're going to call this, we have light blue and dark blue. I guess it's just dark blue and maybe baby blue. I don't know what blues it is. But anyway, the lighter one is the 0DD put line, and the blue line, the darker blue line, is all puts put together. So not just 0 DT, but all expiration. And then obviously vice versa up here. You have 2 lines because one's for 0 DT and then one is for the all expiration. The movement today on both is arguably because of 0 DT trades. You can see right here, the call is almost exclusively the fact that it almost looks exactly the same as the orange line is just telling you that it's pretty much the 0 DT. All right, we're making some of it back. I should probably set a break even just so I don't lose more money. Do I want to do this or do I want to wait for the actual flush below 31? Do I actually want to do this? I want to put in a stop at one point. I just don't know if I'm too early right now. Obviously, I don't want it to cost me more money. Maybe I should just do it, and if I get knocked out, say la vie, you know. But it's just not enough time. Like, I barely just got in. If anything, I think a reasonable stop is still all the way up here. But even if it goes all the way up there, I'm screwed. The account's definitely boned at that point. Oh, 46, 45. Is it going to bounce up and screw me? I just want the flush.
Order submitted.
Something else is trading. Oh, we just made a new intraday low. Partially breaking down. Come on. Which ones are those targeting? 20 and 19. 20. Come on, come on, come on. Not only do I need the flush for that messed up trade, but I need it for 2 actual trades right now. Where I could just be getting absolutely screwed if this is a double bottom. Which very well might be the vibe of the day. Am I just going to get absolutely destroyed here? Come on. Give me the flush. Give me the flush. Come on. Come on. 18. This is the one that I probably should baby a little bit more.
Order submitted.
If there is a quick flush, I do want to dump one of mine, so I'm just throwing in that just in case. Just in case. No. Don't be a double bottom. Don't do this to me. Don't be a double bottom. Why did I go short at the low of the day? That doesn't really make the most sense now, does it? Logically. Oh, I'm getting screwed. Come on. What do we have going on? I just got to trust the process. Crapface told me it's a bearish day, and I trust Crapface. I'm sure other people in here said it's going to be a bearish day, so I'm trusting you guys. But, see, this is where I think sometimes the DJT is catching another bit. DJT is up 5%. Tesla's losing some of its gains, but it's still the biggest gainer on my watch list, up 10. But the intraday action leaves a little bit to be desired. But anyway, I think right here, well, beyond the mess up code that I'm now like trying to salvage that particular trade. So I'm going from bot stuff to just like manual letting it rip. And it's more of just like prayer stuff, I suppose, like just praying that it works. I feel like myself, like it manually trading, I wouldn't short there. The robot, I guess, saw something that I didn't see, but I wouldn't be shorting at a breakdown because there's so many times that it's a fake out breakdown. If anything, if I was bearishly biased, I would wait for a bounce like this. So even if I like was over exuberant in the bearish direction, I'd be waiting for the bounce just to like lessen my risk, and I'd probably be risking it off this recent high that we saw here. But instead, the robot's like, nope, the second it saw that new low, it's like, we have enough bearish momentum. Let's let it rip. Ah, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate. I feel like every single day in here, it's just the conclusion is back to the drawing board. Back to the drawing board. It's so nice when it works so easily, but there's just so many times that it just doesn't work easily. Where are we at? Yeah, this is demolishing me right now. Demolishing me. But it is legitimately weak. The 5-minute is below the cloud. The 10-minute is below the cloud on ES. On NQ, the 5-minute and the 10-minute are even worse. On the S&P 500 futures market, perfectly bouncing off the 48 EMA, and that's exactly where it is on the NASDAQ right now. It's flirting with this line. So it'll be interesting to see, because this bar, it's almost 10 a.m., so this is the half-hour bar in the bottom left of your screen. It'll be interesting to see if they close this above or below this medium-term EMA. I'm curious if they want it above or below. We're definitely going to have some bots firing off here at 10 a.m., half hour into the day, to see what's going on. Where are we doing it? 44 seconds. What are they going to do? Do they want it above or below? The 5 minutes just dancing around. 5 minutes just dancing around. Oh, brother. Looks like they might want it above, but we still have about 26 seconds. Let's see where this is closing. Tesla catching a bit of a bid. DJT's been catching a bid this entire morning. So a vomit, a bounce. We're going to second bounce. And the golden question is this just like a dead cat bouncing off the ground here? Or is this the old double bottom reversal? Now, this is actually in real time a great teaching moment, a phenomenal teaching moment. Right here. We have a double bottom off of yesterday's close. Now, without knowing where we're going, obviously right now this is happening in real time, unless you're watching this as
order submitted.
What the fuck is happening now?
Order filled. Target filled. Target filled.
What is trading? 205? 20.
Order filled.
See, same thing right here. Order is complete. Further cancellation on the order may lead to sell. The same thing is happening. It's live again. All right. So now I learned my lesson. Got to go quickly. 20. No. Where is it trading? Is it on ES? Close.
Order filled.
Same thing happened, man. What the fuck is going on? Oh, okay. That's frustrating. So that same weird little bug I just saw it again. At least this time, I was a little bit more prepared for it. I was able to take care of it. Strange. All right. How many more left to trade? 1, 2. What would be going on that there's open orders? I guess maybe I could find it. Yeah, maybe it's on Ninja somewhere of what it does or doesn't mean. Unless any of you know it. I mean, you guys just saw the message that was there. Have any of you seen that before? Especially if you're like running your own Ninja script stuff. Has anyone seen that? The order error message you got happens when you place an order type out of place, like placing a stop loss above the current price. Oh, the order error message you got happens when you place an order type out of place, like placing a stop loss above the current price. Oh, Bob, I appreciate that. All right, so I have to look into, I guess, the stop order is wrong. Interesting. Okay, I will I appreciate that, Bob. I appreciate the insights, and now here's to hoping that this is a fake out breakout. So anyway, this is a really good, teaching example. So let's look at the cues, and I want to show you one thing. So everyone and their mother would be looking at this in one of two ways. You're either saying, oh, this is a double bottom, and like we vomit and we bounce, and we bounce again. So right here, without no one knows where we're going next. The question is this a double bottom that you should be buying because we're about to rip? Or is this a dead cat, a fake out, and we're actually vomiting and things are about to get worse? Now, what people do when they try to teach about real-time active trading is they always play Monday morning quarterback. They use the example that will most appropriately reflect what they're trying to teach. So if I was like, oh, yeah, no, trade double bottoms. Whenever you see a double bottom, you buy on the rip back up. That's your risk. Of course, I would use the example if this happens to be a true double bottom. But if this ends up being a dead cat bounce where we bounce up, they trap some of these longs in here, over exuberant bulls, and then we vomit, I'd be like, oh, no, this is the double cat. It's a trick. Like, it's a trick. It's a trap. My point is you cannot appropriately teach it by when you know the results to it. It's unknown information. No one on this planet can tell you if this is the double bottom and we're going to keep going, or if it's a fake out and we're just going to vomit here. It's unknown information. And yet when I just have such an issue with the way trading is taught to the world of retail traders, active traders. You don't know. Literally no one knows if this is a bounce that should be shorted, or if this was a double bottom that should be bought. You cannot definitively tell it. All you can do is say, okay, hey, I have somewhat of a bias, whether you're bullish or bearish. You take a shot at it, and then you respect your risk. So if you were bullish and you waited for this and you're like, yes, this is a double bottom. Okay, whatever. You go long at 431.23, and this is your risk. 431. At this point, you might even move your risk to break even just so it costs you nothing. On the flip side, if you are short, well, okay, you could have seen the bounce back up here, or maybe you saw this vomit and then it bounced and you went short right here at 431.51. Your risk might have been this breakout, but who knows? Even that, it went up. This could be a fake out, like it pushes a little bit higher to stomp you out of position just to vomit anyway. My point is this game, if you are attempting to predict where we go next, you cannot do that. That is not how you win at the game of trading, of saying, hey, I think the next bar is this, I think the next bar is that, this, that, the other thing. If you're attempting to predict what's coming next, it's 50-50, folks. Flip a coin. It's going to be as accurate as your prediction. What you can, and this is a very distinct thing from investing. Investing is, you have a lot more predictive power in the world of investing. I'm talking about for active trading. For active trading, especially for active day trading, the next bar being red or green, it's 50-50. The bar after that, it's 50-50. The bar after that, it's all roughly 50-50. That's the game of the market, of how this works. So what you can do without knowing the next bar, without knowing where this is going, you have to deal with the known information. Don't drive yourself nuts trying to dissect unknown information that is literally a 50-50 statistics like mechanism. What you can do is say, okay, I'm going long or short, and just ask yourself, what is your risk to reward? The thing that you are in control of is your current risk and whatever reward you're going for, whether it's like a specific reward, whether it's a trailing stop loss, a break even, blah, blah, blah. My point is that's what you're in control of. Whenever you place a trade, whether long or short, buying calls, buying puts, selling calls, selling puts, whatever it is, you're in control of your risk and reward. You are not in control of like, what is the next bar? So the fact that you're not in control, don't even try to control it. Just say, okay, whatever your bias is, whatever your trading plan is, stick to it. And most importantly, really, really stick to your overall trading plan. But if there's a specific aspect of that that's even more important, it's really stick to your risk. Obviously, stick to your risk. So right here, no one could tell this. Like, this could have been a dead cat where we just vomited, or it ended up being a double bottom at 9.55. And that's even as of now. This could be the fake out, and the SPY might run into issues right here at the, I guess, the high from Friday. The Qs might be running up to there. They might get smacked, or they might just end up completely ripping. Rip. 100% possible. So, like, my point with all of this is, like, I get this question so much of like, where do you think it's going next? It doesn't fucking matter where it's going next, because in a sense, it's a useless question because the answer is impossible to know. It's absolutely impossible. Where do you think it's going next? Where do you think the next bar is? Where do you think the next 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15? Where do you think, like, it's something, I guess, to pass time, like ponder about and just be like, oh, whatever. But I'm telling you, there's an immense amount of research on this that it's going to be 50-50. It's going to be 50-50. That's the odds. If you want me to guess where the next bar is, 50-50. 50, bullish, and I'm going to be right 50% of the time. Bearish, I'm going to be right 50% of the time. That is not the question. If you want to be successful in this game,
Order submitted.
You develop a trading plan. So right here, these order. Oh wait, no, that's a different one. Never mind. Scratch this. Don't worry about that. Can I?
Order submitted.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That one that I got screwed on. I got absolutely screwed on. 22. Where's 22? Here's 22. Here's 21. All right, we're trading 22 and 21. 22. There's only two left, right? 22 and 21. 22 and 21. So I could turn off all these other ones. Okay. All right. Two left to go. Account two. Wait. Why is this one trading now? Dude, I don't understand. All right. I need to. Obviously, something was wrong. I'm just going to close it
filled.
out. One was still actively trading. We got some unexpected trades, team. And what do we have right now? A little bit of the old reversal. 5 minutes. So dipped hard, but saved itself. Dipped hard right here. Notice, remember, rewind a little bit when I was saying, oh, I'm wondering where this bar is going to close. See how it closed right above the breakdown level? Buyers are stepping in. Buyers are stepping in. But for how long? That's a golden question. This might just be the perfect trap and then they completely dump it. Or this could have been a perfect double bottom that if you got in early, you're now obviously already in the green. You never know. It's just a game of control your risk and reward. That's all this game is, time and time again. It is not a game of prediction. It's a game of what is the accuracy of your system. First of all, you have to develop a system. If you don't have a system, that's the first thing you need to do. I don't care how basic or complex your system is. Maybe your system is, I buy at 9:33 every day and I'm bullish and I hold it for 5 minutes. That might be a system. I don't know if it's a profitable system. It probably isn't, but it might be. I have no idea. Develop a system that has clear, concise entry rules, clear, concise exit rules. When you do that, you're going to start to understand how often you're right, how often you're wrong. When you have the clear entry and the clear exit, you'll know the accuracy of your system, but that's not the end of it. When you want to know if a system is profitable or not, knowing the accuracy is only part of the equation. You have to know the average win size when you are right, and then the average loss size when you're wrong. So for example, let's say you're right 50% of the time, but you win $20, okay? And when you're wrong the other 50% of the time, you're only losing 10. Your net expected value is ahead by $10, if that makes sense. Even though you're 50-50, you're winning double the size when you're right relative to when you're losing. So to know if you have a profitable strategy, accuracy is important, but you have to know the average win size and then also the average loss size with the accuracy. And then that tells you the net expected value of each particular trade. And if it's above zero, good, you have a profitable strategy. If it's below zero, not so good. You have a net losing strategy. And that's the thing, it's that half of the equation that I think a lot of the people who are attempting to teach about retail trading and whatnot are always getting wrong because they just talk about accuracy. I could right now in front of you all make a system that is 99% accurate and still is a net loser. And you might be thinking, wait, how does that make sense? How could you be right 99% of the time and then still be losing? Well, it's because that 1% of the time you're wrong, you blow out. You lose more than what you gain from being right 99. So for example, let's say every single time you're right, you win $1, but every single time you're wrong, you lose 500. So you would win 99 out of 100 trades. Your net expectation would be to win 99. So you're up $99, but on that other one, the expectation of losing 1 in 100, you're down 500. So if you're plus 99 minus 500, obviously that's a net losing session or a net losing system. You're going to be down 401. Your expected return after 100 trades would be down $401. So that is the thing that you could go on any form of social media. You could crack open so many different books and they're like, oh, look at this. My system, it's so accurate. It's so accurate. How, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, and then you ask them, you're like, oh, wait, what's like the net expected return? They're like, oh, yeah, we can't talk. We don't know. They haven't even heard of it. They're just looking for something with super, super high accuracy, but super high accuracy does not mean you are profitable. I've shared this story before, but it's not like well known, but there's a pretty popular hedge fund in South Africa. And this hedge fund, they kind of go for not really black swan events, but somewhat like that. They're only right 20 to 25% of the time. They're only right 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 trades. But when they are right, it's like basically a 10x return. So when they're right, it doesn't happen that often, but when they are right, it comes at a huge windfall return. So having a higher or less accurate system doesn't necessarily mean it's good or bad because it's only part of the equation. You have to know the other part. And what we're all here for is to see just like how much, like you want to obviously optimize your profit factor, not necessarily like how often you're right or wrong. What I care about is just the total profit. All right. Anyway, the SPY, the Qs thus far bouncing. I am, speaking of systems, I'm particularly frustrated because I don't know what the fuck. Like, I should double check that there's no live orders right now. Okay, there isn't. So frustrating. What happened there? Thank you, Bob, for sharing that. So you're thinking that's the message that NinjaTrader gives you. What'd you say? When you have trades like a stop loss above or something, that's not possible. But then why did it work on some and not others? Like, why is it pulling the order? So if you get out, maybe it's on the update. The update. Let me think. Let him cook. All right. What do we have here? Where's the 10-minute? Where's the 5-minute? I could probably whip up a strategy and see how it goes. All right, we are waiting a little bit just because the Qs are mid-range on their bars while the SPY is like a little bit closer to the upper end. We are seeing puts getting closed out and we are seeing calls being purchased. So the bulls are successfully stepping in really ever since about 9:44. So there was that vomit, but as of now, it seems to be a bit of a fake out. The Qs are getting stalled out at their high from Friday while the SPY is like successfully holding above that, which is nice. Nice. All right. What else are we doing? The price. Oh, wait. The price moves before the order is updated. At least that's when I was running into the issue. The price moves. Wait, Bob, can you expand on what you mean by that? Because I was using the average price, and then off the average price, I was adding a profit target to the one side, and I was adding a stop loss to the other side. But it was all based off my average price entry. The price moves before the order is updated. The price moves. So do I need to manually cancel the orders? Is that what you're saying? Or not manually, but like, do I have to programmatically cancel the other order? I thought it would pull the order itself when it gets filled. Is that not? This one isn't slippage. Slippage is generally an answer. But if you're using average price, it's just pulling the average price of your fill. It's trying to add a stop at 110, but the price moves to 110.25. So how do you resolve it then? It's trying to add a stop to add a 110 stop, but the price moves to 110. Reverse that. So don't use a stop is what you're saying then? Reverse that. I'm not quite following. It's trying to add a 110 stop, but the price moves to 110.25. So it's like beyond. I'll add a note in Discord. All right, much appreciated. Mathematically, can't you keep track of a losing system, not trade 99% of the time and go opposite 1% of the time? Yeah, but you would never know what time that bad beat is. If out of 100 trades, if you're expecting to lose one, you don't know which one that will be. And it's not even guaranteed to be in the first 100. And then you could also have technically that bad beat multiple times in the first 100. You just know it pops up about 1% of the time. You don't know when that time is going to be. For example, maybe a better, when you're playing poker or blackjack or whatever, you have a certain odds, like a certain percentage chance of being dealt pocket aces. But like, just because you haven't seen pocket aces in the expected occurrence, that doesn't mean it's coming on the next one. It's moving the stop that is updated prior to being active in a trade. It's moving a stop loss that is updated prior to it being in an active trade. No, I don't think that, because it didn't happen till it exited. The bug popped up after the profit was hit, not before. So it got into the position. In this example, it went short, it dropped more, locked in the profit, and then the bug popped up. Would trend following help find that 1% of the time? No. All you know is it happens 1% of the time. You don't know if the next one's going to be that 1%. You just don't know. You just know the odds at which it might pop up. For example, if you're flipping a coin, you flip it, it lands on heads, and you know it's 50-50 odds. That doesn't mean the next one's tails. The next one might be heads. The next one after that might be heads. The next one after that might be heads. I would think of it that way. If you flip a quarter and it comes up heads, there's by no, like, even if you started to track it, if you're like, oh, heads, 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 the odds of the next one being heads is still 50-50. Not a delayed error message. I mean, it very well could be. It could have, like I said, I'm gonna have to review my own stream and read the message and kind of reverse engineer what the hell happened. Oh, fuck, that's frustrating. While doom scrolling saw AMC video with 1.7K price target and a 2.5K watchers, how do people believe this stuff? I feel bad but can't cure stupid. Yeah, I mean, they're just retarded. Honestly. Like, by the pure medical definition of retarded, that's what they are. Just unable to comprehend basic logic. And it's actually worse than that, because like they're also a particularly argumentative group. But it is what they're just retarded. It is. It happens, man. It's just it's sad to see, because people are pissing away good money. It is what it is. All right. The options market is still remaining bullish as the SPY is slowly but surely climbing. The Qs are really getting stuck at their closing value. I keep saying closing value. They bounce off the closing value. The Qs are getting stuck at the high value from Friday, while the SPY is a little bit more whippy. Oh, I wanted to share this with you guys. I thought it was a really cool clip. This is Michael Burry from Scion Capital. You probably saw him in The Big Short, talking about interest rate and debt. I thought it was a really interesting clip.
Well, I think the point at which the degree to which we can tax our population is eclipsed by the amount of our interest on our debt. Basically makes us a Ponzi scheme of some sort. And I think that's the point. I think it's very hard to pick that spot. There's a long history. This is one of those things I think our leaders, our government are kind of in this teenage state right now. There's this long history we can rely on for a more mature view of how things work. And I think there's a long history of governments lasting a whole lot longer than they should. And, you know, a lot that we'd rather not have happen. Certainly all the dictators seem to get it done. So I think, you know, it's difficult to time that very precisely. I think we'll have a warning, though. I think a smart analyst, or I shouldn't say that, because I don't even think I'm so smart. I was definitely 50th percentile here at Vanderbilt, no higher. I think if you just pay attention, you'll get a warning sign. Heck, you know, when I figured out the subprime thing, I had to do it off human behavior and various sources of witchcraft wizardry in 05. By early 06, it was apparent in the actual filings that were being made every month. And you just had to look at that, and it was really easy. And so I think you'll see that. If you're thinking, oh, one day a treasury auction will fail, and then I'll have, you know, I don't see that happening, because I think we have enough domestic consumers of debt, including the Fed, but including military pensions, whatever, Social Security, et cetera, that it's too easy for the government to hide that. And I don't know that you can wait for that.
Just a little insight from Michael Burry of how our government handles debt. Speaking of bonds and whatnot, there were some 13 and 26-week ones scheduled for today that will probably come out in about a half hour, around 11 a.m. right here, the 13-week, 26-week. In my opinion, not that pivotal. Tomorrow, the 42-day, so that's a month and a half. Once again, probably coming out at 11 a.m. In terms of the big ones that are very influential, the 3-year, the 10-year, the 30, we have a bit of time. They're not happening this week. If anything, they are happening next week. Next week. Uh-oh, speaking of getting hit. Choppy story thus far today. The SPY, a little bit stronger than the Qs. The Qs running right back up into that cloud and then not liking it. Get really struggling at that high value from Friday. Interesting. All right. Even options are right now. It's whippy, folks. Obviously, I've been doing the futures trades. You guys have been seeing that. I have not been doing any. What is? I went 100K deep on short-term Tesla calls Friday and printed. Congrats, course members who traded that. He made $500,000 today. Meet Kevin made $500,000 in a day. Well, technically held it over the weekend. I went 100K deep on short-term Tesla calls Friday and printed. Oh, $500,000? That's crazy. I wonder what size he traded that with. That's nuts. LMAO, we are in a simulation. Feels like it. All right. Anyway, I'm setting up this alert. I want to know what happens if we're breaking, if we're not breaking. All right, cool. Just waiting. Patience. I need something to happen because we're really pretty much, the SPY's slightly above its opening value. The Qs are slightly below its opening value. Not really much, I guess, movement thus far today. The Qs are a little bit heavier, but they still save themselves on the 30-minute. The 5 and the 10 are deciding if they want to stay red or if they want to go green, while the SPY is a bit stronger. So since tech is weak, what's keeping the market up? Energy is looking good. You can see that with XLE. Financials are also looking good. XLF. Utilities are fine. They're not really doing anything. Industrials are going up. Healthcare is also going up. So basically, the one that's kind of sucking today is tech, but other sectors are looking pretty good, hence why the SPY is actually having a pretty solid day on a relative basis. The SPY is currently up 0.4%, while the Qs are up 0.3% relative to the closing value on Friday. But really the Qs, they're stalled out, it feels like. Very much stalled out. Options, what happened here? All right, some puts just started to come in on the SPY. Some people are starting to buy puts. Are they right? Are they wrong? I don't know. Only time will tell on who's right and who's wrong on this one. He did 700 contracts. Wow. That is pretty freaking degenerate. hopefully he traded it through public, because he would have made a lot more money by just also adding in the rebate when he bought and sold. All right. Well, while we're waiting for something to actually play out here, you guys always send in quite a bit over the weekend, and I very much appreciate it. So let's see what you guys send in to react to today. Let's see what you have. Let's see what you have. All right. Let's see what we got. What's this guy?
I think we all understand how ridiculous the national debt is. Were you aware that more than 25% of our total national debt is just money the Biden administration lost, not spent on things?
Lost?
Not like, hey, we know where that money went. Not like, hey, we got something for that money. But no, nearly $9 trillion of this $34 trillion total is just money the Biden administration lost. It gets even wilder than that. Nearly 10% of this total is money the Biden administration lost last year. Since the Biden administration has been in office, the Pentagon has lost $3.8 trillion. That's not the total amount they spent. No, that's the amount they can't account for. That's the amount they have no idea where the fuck it is. That's nearly 10% of our total national debt. Don't forget, we spent 150 years accruing this, and the Pentagon lost 10% of it just last year. And then also, since the Biden administration has been in office, the Treasury has lost $5 trillion. Just fucking lost. No idea where it is. So there's a good legacy for Biden. In the 3.5 years he's been in office, he has managed to lose more than 25% of our national debt. So let me ask you, where do you think that money went?
How much money has the U.S. Treasury lost? Is this true? Tennessee Treasury has $1 billion unclaimed. It's giving me bonds, but I remember hearing the Pentagon story, but I didn't hear anything about the Treasury losing money. If anyone, Fed loses $100 billion as interest rate. Here's the federal. If anyone has links on the Treasury losing money, feel free to send that my way. I would love to read about it. That's crazy, if true.
Communism was created by a loser who created an ideology for losers, an ideology that caused destruction, death, poverty, wherever it was applied. And you may be asking yourself, why do people still support it? Why is there still people saying that communism is a good idea? And I'll give you the answer right now, because there's still a lot of losers out there. Losers who will blame everything for their lack of success but themselves. You can get better things for yourself. No. It's always going to blame somebody else for the problems that you have caused, for the problems that you have in your life. You're always going to be a victim. If you were born in a certain place, if you were born looking a certain way, you're always going to be a victim. There's no way to fix that. You need to be a victim. And that's why this system works in these people's minds.
Right there. It happened again. We're going rogue. Cancellation rejected by order management system. Order is complete. Further cancellations on this order may lead. What the fuck is happening? 221.
Order filled.
Do I have any other live positions? Dangerous. It was dangerous. At least we got out that time. Shit, that kind of messed up my day. I mean, a somewhat decent day. Two of these accounts were going to be lost no matter what, but one of the accounts should have been fine. I definitely lost an account that I should not have lost. That's frustrating. All right, I need to dive into that. So it's something with the orders being canceled. The order canceled system. Okay. I think that's kind of it, though. I think I'm done for. I think everything ran that was supposed to. Let's. I actually kind of like this trade.
Order filled. Order submitted.
All right, I'm just throwing in a stop here. But I'm wondering if I could ride this back up to basically this recent high that we saw at 935. I'll take it off a little bit early. 40.
Order submitted.
All right, we'll see if this hits. Anyway, where were we? Something about being a loser.
Looking a certain way, you're always going to be a victim. There's no way to fix that. You need to be a victim. And that's why this system works in these people's minds, because they don't want to face the reality that they can actually change their lives, that the world is not this place where there's the oppressor and the oppressed, and that you are stuck in a place forever. But that's what they want to believe in, because again, they're losers. So they look for an ideology that's going to make them feel a little bit better about themselves. Communism.
Because they're losers. Losers. Oh, this kid. This guy is a lunatic. He is.
Yeah, a bloodbath, according to Donald Trump. Do you folks see what he's doing here? He's trying to scare people into supporting him or staying quiet and not making their voices heard. And to that, I say, screw you, Donald Trump. You don't get to try to scare the American people into submission so you can achieve your lifelong dream of becoming a dictator. Like, this is exactly what authoritarian leaders do. When you look at dictatorships around the world and in history, one of the ways they maintain power is by scaring the people, making sure that they don't speak up against them and their reign. That's what Donald Trump wants to achieve, and that's what he's saying here. We cannot allow this guy back into office in 2024. Our democracy quite literally depends on it.
Says you could tell because he's so experienced and he knows a lot about what your democracy depends on, because he has just an abundance of life experience, and I'm sure he's well researched. What a joke. That's too many words. Let's just watch it.
I started TikTok like the spring semester of my senior year, and I was like, fuck, I finally have to start applying for law school. And then, like, you know, female privilege, life is so easy for a woman. Obviously, I lucked out. I'm just kidding. I lucked out, and then, you know, TikTok was basically full time for me. I think I was taking ads by the time I graduated college from like the Biden administration and Planned Parenthood and like dating apps and stuff. So it was like fully financially, you know, sustaining.
So you were getting, the Biden administration was buying ads from you?
Yeah, I was doing full on political propaganda.
And they would just, really? With like what kind of stuff? Biden created 10 million jobs this year.
Honestly. And the funny thing is, they're like, do not disclose this is an ad, because, you know, they're like, technically it's not a product, so you don't have to disclose it's an ad. Because I think they just wanted like some edgy girl of color to just tell people, like when they nominated like Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're like, can you say like as a person of color, you know, that you feel reflected? And it's like a white woman emailing this to me, and she's like giving me this script, and I'm like, no. And she's like, please. And I'm like, no, I'll like talk about the news of it, but I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna have a white person tell me to be like, you know, this is how I feel as a person of color. Like, it's just so, I think that blacked me slightly on like, you know, political propaganda
so
stuff.
the Biden administration sees, oh, here's this young,
yeah, I mean, they use like a conduit. It's not
in
like,
a weird
you know what
way,
I mean? It's not Biden,
racist.
but it's like a third party. You know what I mean? It's like a media company that's doing it on his behalf. I'm not blaming him for this.
Yeah, and the message is like, because you're a dark-skinned woman, you will be inspired by Ketanji Brown Jackson, and all the kids should support her.
Yeah, they're like, basically as like another black person, just say that like you feel reflected by Ketanji. I'm like, no, I'll talk about like Ketanji's background and her accomplishments, but like I never, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna say like the corny stuff. Even if it was a brown person emailing it to me, I'm like, no, that's not like how I feel. Like I don't look at like Ketanji and feel like, wow.
Yeah. So yeah,
It's crazy. I'm a little bummed. Neither administration pays me, and it's like really tough because I don't know how to put myself more out there of being a like greedy little capitalist. Biden administration, Trump administration, send me money. I'll do them back to back. One day I'll fire off a Biden TikTok. The next day I'll fire off a Trump TikTok. I am so willing to be bought that I think that's my problem. I think I want it too much. And it's kind of bumming me out. I think that's inherently my big issue, is that like they know I want to get paid. It's kind of like when you want to pet a cat. Like if the cat knows you want to pet the cat, you're not going to pet the cat. It's when you don't want to pet the cat that you'll be able to pet the cat. So I feel like I just need to want it less. But I want those political dollars. Just send me the money. Like you're already pissing away money. Might as well go into my bank account.
You can't skate a school in Japan. Like that's
Hell
a
no. 100% no. You're going to jail.
You have to skate downtown. You don't encourage anyone else to skate anywhere in Japan. But then you mentioned that they give fines.
Oh yeah.
So what's up with that?
I heard like my friends got like invoice $20,000.
$20,000 you told?
Yes, and then like he's young, like like 18.
What does he have to do if he can't afford it?
He have to like security for that spot.
He has to work as a security guard.
Yes.
So he has to kick his
Wait,
homies out
what?
for 5 years
Yes,
to pay off his
skater.
$20K.
Yeah,
Oh, they don't play in Japan. They don't play around.
like especially in Tokyo. Yeah.
You can't skate a school.
I didn't know Japan was so freaking hardcore. That's something. A guy finds more than $750,000 brand new backyard after he got permission to build a pool. Like in cash? In Bitcoin? In gold bullions? In rare collectible Furbies?
Order filled.
What is it? Some cash. A gun? And more cash. Dude, this is so obviously cartel money. Like, you just gotta put it back. Just say sorry. More cash. Yeah. No, at a certain point, you just have to know that you just some things you just put back.
So we can't watch videos on an app that, God forbid, might give us a different perspective on the world. We can't have affordable housing. We can't have doctors covered insurance that practice holistic medicine that aren't under big pharma, or even, people have health insurance at all. We can't afford car insurance anymore. We can't have affordable gas or food and water that isn't completely poisoned. And then we wonder why we're sick all the time. We can't put criminals behind bars. We can't protect our planet. We can't make sure no child goes to bed hungry. We can't solve or even begin to deal with the homeless crisis or the drug pandemic or the mental health crisis we have in this country, which is very clear. We can't close our borders, but we can protect other countries' borders with our money.
Pretty
And
based.
There goes another, $61 billion to Ukraine?
Oh, based. Coins with informal presidents.
Punk rock is not about success. We would all do this if there was no money, because NoFX did it for 8 years with no money. It's how much fun you can have. And you know what real success is in life?
Oh,
It's how
that
much
president.
fun you have.
I want that one. That guy's cool.
Fucking money.
I want that one. Our money should look like that.
RV? So what has America done for us lately? Let me show you. Y'all see this RV?
Mhm.
That's where we live. Not because we wanted to, because we couldn't afford housing anymore. What blows my mind is they are so swift to try to ban an app that has actually allowed normal middle-class people to gain some financial traction, where instead of living check to check, we now can have money to put back to get us a house. Literally, so many people are so out of touch with what TikTok actually is. Because this isn't a silly little app where we watch dances. For small businesses that survive based off of this app, there are people who are just your normal everyday people like myself, who have been a stay-at-home mom who's finally able to do something where I post videos and make money off of that, or I promote products from TikTok Shop where I can actually bring in a significant amount of money to help provide for my family. I work my butt off doing it. but everyone sees it as just a silly little app. You are so out of touch. So is our Congress. So is all of our government. They have one track mind, and that's to control everybody. They obviously don't give a crap about its security. I don't understand how so many people buy into that lie. If they cared about our national security, if they cared about our data, then we wouldn't have Facebook, we wouldn't have Instagram, we wouldn't have open borders. It's amazing that they can decide something so quickly and get it pushed through on an app that will affect millions of people's income, because who is this actually going to help and who is this actually going to hurt? It's helping nobody but them, Republicans and Democrats, because they want to control the narrative. So explain to me how my family looked at this year as being so close to being able to get out of an RV and into a house. And as soon as we start to gain a little bit of financial traction, y'all want to shut it down? House of Representatives? Who are you representing other than yourself? Because it ain't me. The millions of other Americans that rely on this app for a secondary income. Why don't y'all fix the crap show you've created here in America where no one can afford?
I mean, she's kind of right, but she's also kind of wrong. Like, I think she's conflating things. Just because you're making money doesn't inherently make it good. So, like, I mean, according to our elected officials, it is a serious security threat. Now, do you believe them, or are they being truthful, or do they even understand what they're saying? Do they understand tech and data? That's completely up for debate. But just on the basis of people are making money off of it, people make money doing a lot of nefarious things they shouldn't do. Like, just because it makes you money doesn't mean it's good. There's a lot of crime that makes money, or there's a lot of dangerous things that make money that like shouldn't be. So I think that's a bit of a weak argument. But she does bring up some valid points as well. Like, what does, if they really cared about security, why don't we have an actual border? Like, I don't fully agree with her, but I also don't fully disagree with her. I do think that she brings up some valid points, and then I think she is also bringing up some like weak points. Some weak points. Oh, the Q's catching a bit of a bid. Q's, ooh.
Order canceled.
Oh, the Q's catching a bit of a bid. What do I want to do? Do I want to do anything? I still haven't traded any options yet today. We just haven't moved. We haven't moved. I'm at this rate, I might not end up doing anything. Dude, look at, we're just chop city. Patience, folks. This has been, I mean, there was that dip and then the return, but we haven't really moved ever since 10:20 this morning. Don't force a trade. Do not force a trade. It is, you don't want to be early, you don't want to be late. When it comes to the game of trading, you want to be on time. On time, all time. I saw that Sketch did, the fourth round announcement for the Titans, maybe the Texans, whatever, the Texans, I think he's a fan of. It's pretty cool. That kid is on quite the upswing. Right now, there's definitely one quiet STEM major kid on campus who is seriously pissed off and just wants to study at work, and he's going to lose it soon. This is on UCLA's campus.
We will not stop. Disclose, divest. We will not stop. We will not rest. Divest. We will not stop. We will not rest. Disclose, divest. Disclose, divest.
What are they talking about? What?
We will not stop. We will not rest.
What are you disclosing? What are you divesting? Oh, it's so confusing.
Disclose, divest.
What are we talking about?
Divest.
I feel like they just have too much time on their hands. I feel like they have way too much time on their hands. Are we missing it? Jesus, take the wheel. What else do we have going on? What else do we have going on? Things got heated at the Palestine protests at the University of Texas. This is Alex Stein, the comedian.
Get the fuck out of here. Dude. We're here at UT Austin, where I just got assaulted by transgender pro-Palestine people. I didn't realize gay for Palestine was actually real. But watch this video. Hey, can I ask you a question? In Palestine, aren't they mean to trans people? Aren't they mean to trans people? We're here at UT Austin, and trans people are out here protesting for Palestine, but don't Palestinians throw gay people off roofs?
Hey, sir, can you please leave?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna hang out right here. Can anybody tell me about, do they do any pride parades? Get the fuck out of here. Dude, what are you gonna do about it? You guys are all idiots. You guys are transgender, but you guys aren't even allowed to be in Palestine. I know that you're
Oh my god!
No fighting. He just flips the table.
Gays for Palestine movement.
Dude, what is this world coming to right now? What is happening? What in the world is happening right now? I don't get it, man. It's like none of them even care where the Nasdaq's going today. It's like, it's honestly, it's as if they don't even care that is the market recovering. They don't even care that Tesla's up 12%. Actually, Tesla, nice recovery there in Tesla. They don't care that, well, they probably do care about DJT. They're probably pissed off about that one. You know? Oh, the case for that's conceptually interesting. Who in here, Matt, he's a proven agitator. This was covered. Oh yeah, we've watched his videos. We know he's an agitator. He agitates like Congress and elected officials all of the time. We've seen the videos here. I'm not disagreeing with that. Is this gonna break down? Do I want to put on a position? It's just gays for Palestine. That's like an oxymoron. You're not allowed to be gay in Palestine. That would be like if there was a Jewish group like supporting like, hey, stop being mean to Nazis, or if there's like a black group saying, oh, we don't like that, like you're being mean to like KKK members. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Like, I guess you're allowed to support whoever you want, but it's very, very strange to support a group who, like, specifically, like, not even doesn't support you, but, like, actually hates you. Like, specifically hates you. Then why are you giving him credit by talking about it? What do you mean giving him credit? You mean watching a video that's on the internet? You're calling that giving someone credit? That's literally, sorry, I was scrolling and saw a video. Is that make more? Does that hurt your feelings somehow? That I was on the internet and I said, oh, what's this video? Tell us how informed they are and how brainwashed into the latest thing these useful idiots are. We're all freaking brainwashed, brother. Make more. Yep. Giving him credit. I literally just played a video. Sorry that, like, somehow particularly infuriates you. I'll make sure to only play videos that are pre-approved by you before we get them on the show. I'll have my producer pass all videos on the entire internet through like the Make More's like feelings barometer, the feelings gauge. You're young and naive in politics. You know what they call me? Young, dumb, and full of cum. I don't know what you want me to say beyond that, because you just seem like a super intelligent. I bet you're very smart and informed and based, and I bet you've thought about this so much. I bet you're so smart. But we like to watch you grow eventually. I don't think so. I feel like I've hit my peak. I feel like this is going to be it. I don't know if there's much more growth I have in me. I think it kind of ended when I was 16, 17. And that's where I got frozen. Market's still not doing squat. The Qs are just going sideways. The SPY is a little bit more volatile, but that's just because we're seeing some movement in other subsectors. Tesla's having an interesting day in DJT. Actually, at this point, Apple's having an interesting day too. Apple's making a solid recovery. Yeah, DJT and Tesla are the biggest gainers on my watch list. Are we going down? What's happening? Puts are getting a bit more aggressive. Calls are flat. What is happening in the market today? Anything? Boring. We're watching paint dry. Good point, Matt. When will you buy DJT simply based on the short interest and potential MOAS? I sold a put, so if it ends up being below whatever my value is, I'll get assigned shares, and then I might have shares. I sold put premium just because it was so juice, but at this point, I don't think I will be assigned. But if it drops a bit, especially on the day of expiration, I might get assigned shares. Might get assigned shares. Dude, we are not doing anything. I guess the excitement was playing Tesla. The excitement was playing DJT, but the SPY and the Qs are not giving us much to work with today. But that's okay. Some days aren't, not all days are built the same. Some days aren't meant to be traded. SEC has been investigating Ethereum since March of 23. Number of nuclear bombs by country? Well, I want to know that. Hang on, let me lower that horrible music. North Korea, followed by Israel, followed by India, Pakistan. Number 5, we have the UK. Surprising. 4 is France. 3 is China. It has to be Russia, then the US, right? This has to be Russia, right? I'm going Russia. Lock it in. No! The US is number 2. Who's 1 is Russia then? It has to be. Russia's number... Dude. We got to pump our numbers up. That's sad. That is, as an American paying taxes, knowing that our war budget's huge, I want to pay more. We need more nukes. I will not accept being number 2. We gotta, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're not meant to be number 2. Oh, what a way to ruin my day. I thought we had them. How am I going to sleep at night? Knowing that, what the fuck? Britney Spears deletes Instagram. The organization he made for the girl he saw in the subway and wanted to take. What? That's pretty slick. Pretty slick. Always put your dreams first. Donating to charity, stealing from the homeless. Oh, brother. Are we doing anything today? We've stalled out since 10, just past 10. Nothing's happened. So hopefully you're not getting chopped to all bits. I would love for some sort of movement to get going here. Would love for it. The S&P 500 slightly green on the 5, the 10, the 30, and the Nasdaq slightly red on the 5 and the 10, but the 30 is also holding green. So maybe a slight edge towards the bulls, like 55 to 45 right now, I would say. DJT getting hit a little bit. Are we missing anything? Biden's fictional resume. We all lie on our resume. We all lie on our resume. All right. What's Tommy Tuberville trading these days? He's been crushing it as a political trader. One of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. Nope. Right when it looks like we were going to go to the upside. Surprise, surprise. We're not. What? We're just, nothing's happening right now, team. Nothing's happening whatsoever. It's just one of those crazy days. One of those absolutely crazy days. Well, I guess on that note, since things are boring, I don't really need to keep you in class late. So shout out to Public for sponsoring today's stream. They are pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Also in the description of the video, you can find the link to Locals, which is how you get into the Discord. If you attempted to sign up for Locals today to get into the Discord today, just so you know, I need to update the database because it only updates once a day. So I'll manually update it right after this. So I'll give you like 5 minutes. If you haven't signed up, but you want to be in today, do it within the next 5 minutes. It's free. Just use the code Goonie, Goonie. We'll get you in for free. That's how you get access to pretty much everything. So shout out to Public. Apex, their deal is going to be concluding at the end of this month. So if you want the 80% off on Apex, I just want to put that on your radar, but I could talk more about it later. That's what I'm using to trade on the futures market. So sign up for the Discord, check out Public. I really, really enjoy it. I think you will too. And then don't forget about Apex. But folks, that's what I have for you. We're going to be streaming again tomorrow. We might be posting some update videos tonight. Depends on how I feel. But that's what I have for you. Please wait for today. Today's kind of choppy and sideways. We're not really doing much. So don't force a trade. Like, wait for your actual setup to truly be there before you execute anything in the bullish or bearish direction. Right now, I haven't traded anything on the options market myself just because I haven't seen an opportunity. I did a little bit okay on the futures market. I did, like you saw, the weird. I need to figure out some of those code issues. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing for the remainder of the afternoon. That's what I have for you. Thanks for the good vibes. I'll catch you later. Have a beautiful day. Peace out.